American presidents have become celebrities in American life. They are the one person into whom the entire nation puts all of their hopes for politics, and they are the one person who can act in these moments where swift, energetic action is required. And so the American president, when he exhibits leadership, is exhibiting it on the top leadership stage of the world. What's so interesting about the leadership moments in this series is one thing that we know about good presidents is they can read their moment in time. And so Richard Nixon, when he goes to China, that's something that comes to him in 1967. He's a civilian, he's out of politics, but he has this vision for some way in which America can connect to China, which he ultimately fulfills through patient work while in office. Lyndon Johnson doesn't come to office championing the rights of African Americans, but in office recognizes the power of the office can be met with this growing national need. And that was achieved through slow, patient legislative action. In other instances, you have moral moments that are simply a signature. Gerald Ford pardoning Nixon, which he thinks will heal the country. Truman desegregating the military, which is done just with the stroke of a pen because he thinks it's the morally correct thing to do. We think of the president as kind of an action hero who's rushing in to solve the problem. There is the question of restraint in presidential action. Eisenhower, knowing how to have a restrained response to the Soviet Union, warning the country about the growth of the military-industrial complex. Eisenhower had this great sense of not overdoing it, even though you had the power to do it. Kennedy, the same thing in the face-off with Khrushchev over the missiles in Cuba. He's going toe-to-toe with the Russian leader, but is resisting the call to action from his military leaders, recognizing the power of restraint when dealing with military engagements. Looking at presidential leadership when it works well is relevant because it gives you kind of some templates for the way current presidents should act, and also helps us keep our expectations in the right place for what is in fact possible. Presidential leadership rarely happens in a snap. What happens a lot today is that we want instantaneous action by presidents. And so by studying presidential leadership, we get a sense of what it looks like, what's possible, what to push for and expect from a president in terms of rising above the moment and the politics and the partisanship and the narrow-minded critics, and also then to be patient and recognize that dramatic changes in America usually happen only through slow, steady, persistent effort. The presidency is an act of stewardship. Presidents are handed this office, and they are supposed to leave it better when they're done.